yesterday.
Yes,
But I suspect
absolutely.
that you will. I suspect you 100%
Thank
will
you, Sam.
because you're the man, KG, and I'm glad to see you get this opportunity. We got Korean Jesus in the sound booth. He was psyching himself up with some EDM dubstep before the show, and I ain't mad at it. I had a phase one time. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. Love to be here. I love the crew in the studio today. Should be a fun show. Shout out KG on the desk.
Hey,
Yeah.
man. Thank
Hey.
you, man.
It's definitely not the usual suspects, but sometimes it just be that way. And
Yeah.
Justin, I just got to ask you before we get into it. That's like the fourth name I've called you. But be that as it may, how you feeling about your Stars?
It is what it is. I think the injury to Tanev is a big one. I hope he comes back. I hope he's okay. Lower body. It's going to be a real hit to this series if he's out for an extended period of time. And I definitely think Game 5 is going to be a huge game to determine who wins the series. Because if Edmonton steals it at Dallas, they're going to go home with a chance to clinch. And that's scary. I won't lie.
100%. And as always, the one mainstay from the show that is here today, Spencer Raxter.
Hello.
In the TD booth. How are you feeling about last night's game? I know you are rooting for Edmonton. What's your confidence level after last night?
I'm feeling pretty good. Obviously, I don't really have a dog in the fight. I would just rather see McDavid get a cup, and I hate Dallas, so that's kind of why I'm rooting for Edmonton. But
Yeah, Justin.
yeah, Justin. But like Justin said, Tanev, if he's out, that could swing the series. Like, he is one of their best defenders, if not their best defenseman on that team, and him being out, you saw Edmonton just walking into the zone and firing pucks at the net, like, without a big body like that blocks a lot of shots, it's going to make a difference. And my guy Connor Brown has been absolutely electric for Edmonton this series. He's been one of their best players outside of, the usual suspects with McDavid and Draisaitl and such, but he does everything. He's not a guy that Flannel is going to like because he is a grinder. He is a guy that doesn't score you 10 goals, but he's got 3 points in the last 3 games. His back checking and forechecking has been on point. He has taken away so many A-plus opportunities for Dallas just by himself. So if Connor Brown continues to play like this and Tanev stays out, I could see Edmonton taking this series.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah.
You know what? And credit to Connor Brown. He had that beautiful pass on that shorthanded goal to Matthias Janmark to get that. Hey, shorthanded goals, they flip games, they flip series, and it most certainly can. And I was gonna ask you about this, Korean Jesus, because with Edmonton, I do believe that they're deeper than they've been in years past. Stuart Skinner now is not ideal, but he's better than Stuart Skinner of last year. And I think they're more resilient. And honestly, they played the last series against the backup goaltender. Thatcher Demko was out. And now you got Tanev possibly being out for an extended period. Sometimes breaks just fall your way. I mean, do you see this Edmonton team as a team that actually can beat the Stars and win the Stanley Cup, all things considered?
I do. Unfortunately, with the emergence of Connor Brown, and like DMAC has said multiple times, those are the types of players you need to step up for you in the NHL playoffs, make plays for you. And I have to say, he has been a momentum swinger. He made a bunch of plays last night. He really gets it done. Forecheck, backcheck, paycheck, as Mike G puts it all the time in chat.
Yeah.
And without Tanev, and I'm definitely a little worried, I will say. But if he comes back at least at 75%, I still like Dallas, because when it comes to the crunch time games, Ottinger over Skinner, 10 out of 10 days, not even a second thought to that.
And I'm glad you said that, because hoof-hearted. I think Dallas has a slight advantage because of Edmonton's goalie situation, but man, it's close. One bounce could decide the entire series. And like I said with Edmonton, years past, they've had some playoff flameouts, but as they've gotten deeper, as they acquired Hyman, as Bouchard has developed into one of the best offensive defensemen, Skinner has improved slightly. He has, even if he's not ideal. This is a team, and we've seen it. We saw it in the Vancouver series. We saw it last night. Their backs have been up against the wall multiple times. They blew that 4-1 lead late in the second period in Game 1 of the Vancouver series, and it looked like Draisaitl was a little banged up, and he might be out. But they overcame. They overcame a 3-2 deficit, won a Game 7 on the road, which they almost blew that one as well. But they did. It was fantastic. And last night, down 2-1 at home, first 5.5 minutes of the game, you're down 2-0. That's tough. Those are situations in which a lesser team might crumble, but they didn't. They tied the score. They tied it at the end of the first period. They faced they faced a power play against them. Dallas had one late in the second period, and they got a shorthanded goal. And then 51 seconds later, I mean, we mentioned it, and this is where a guy like Tanev being out is tough because, McDavid steals the puck to Draisaitl, Hyman back to Draisaitl, one of the scariest things you can be looking at as a goaltender, and they got the insurance one and obviously the empty net in the third period. And shout out to the Edmonton defense and to Stuart Skinner. They held Dallas scoreless for last 54 and a half minutes of that game. I'm rooting for Edmonton. I hope that they have that they can win this one, and sometimes you need a little luck. Your stars showing out and just a little bit of depth. I know you don't think I believe in depth.
You talking about depth?
Hey, depth does matter. It's just I'm sorry if I don't think Connor Brown and Matthias Janmark could replace Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and they'd have the same results. That's all. That's all I ever said. Why I don't think Tim Taylor and Doug Brown were as important as Steve Yzerman.
This show will forever stay big Oiler energy, apparently.
Yeah.
And it can bring no one over to my side.
Dude, fuck the
so
Stars,
tough.
man. Like, the Stars fucking suck, dude. Jamie Benn's a bitch.
Damn.
That's your response to everything. Just bring up Jamie Benn.
Yeah,
Jamie Benn,
yeah,
Jamie
that's
Benn,
the
Jamie
only
Benn.
response.
That's your favorite player.
Yeah.
That's my favorite player. I've said it 20 times. It's Tyler Seguin.
Yeah, well,
It was on the back of my jersey.
He taints Tyler Seguin.
Yeah, he does not taint Tyler
He
Seguin.
does.
And stop hating on Connor McDavid.
Yes, and stop hating on Connor McDavid.
I have not hated on Connor McDavid. I said he's the best player in the world. I've given him his flowers, but I do not like the Oilers, and I specifically don't like Ken Holland.
I mean, that's fair, I suppose. I think he gets shortchanged a little bit in this town, but you know what? At the end of his tenure, the Red Wings were in cap hell.
Yeah.
And they're fighting to get out of it right now, and Steve Yzerman is doing his best. I'd like to see playoffs in year 6, but we shall certainly see.
Trust the eyes are playing.
He's doing the Lord's work.
I already don't say I've got a problem with trusted the eyes are playing.
Nope. I'm not gonna take.
Don't even do it.
I'm not gonna take the bait. But anywho, speaking of interesting situations, or not even interesting situations, but just downright bad. See that news on Isaiah Buggs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Once again, Michael Vick Jr. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. I heard that there's rumored he has problems with whatever police department that that this situation happened with, but it's not a good look, man. You leaving dogs for days without food and water. It's cruel, man. I don't understand why he would do that, especially somebody with, you assume, as much money as Isaiah Buggs. But
yeah, it's tough, and I understand that sometimes we as people, and I even agree with this, even though I love my dogs, we kind of almost like value them more than people. But at the same time, dogs can't really fend for themselves.
Exactly.
So if you leave them in a situation with no food and water, they're going to just die.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly sad. And honestly, it makes me happy that he's gone from the team.
yeah,
There were moments last year when that all went down where I'm like, Isaiah Buggs is leaving. They already have a depleted defensive line. But
but the whole situation was weird. His time with the Lions, man. We still don't know to this day why he was away from the team for so long. They brought him back. He played a little bit, but yeah, man. I mean, considering what happened with the Cam Sutton situation and now this, you kind of glad that he's nowhere near this roster anymore.
No, most certainly we are happy about that. And Spenny, I know you mentioned it before the show. Jalen Waddle just got paid. What were the terms of that contract again?
Yeah, Jalen Waddle got paid. His extension was 3 years, $84.75 million. So he is another wide receiver. We got the list here.
Damn.
All of these guys that got bags. Nico Collins, 3 years, 72. AJ Brown, 3 years, 96. Obviously, Amon-Ra, 4 years, 120. Devontae Smith, 3 years, 75. Jerry Jeudy, Michael Pittman, Mike Evans, all those guys got paid. So in the landscape of these, how do you feel about the Amon-Ra St. Brown check?
I mean, it certainly makes it. He deserved to get paid. I was never going to say anything otherwise. But the fact that he got AAV of 30 and Jalen Waddle 28, I mean, Jalen Waddle is obviously incredibly talented. He's a speed demon. He plays opposite Tyreek Hill, and it kind of creates this almost unstoppable force at times. But I think Amon-Ra is a better receiver. That kind of pay scale. I actually think that Jalen Waddle might have been a little bit overpaid just for what he's done and for what I think the team would be just fine even in the interim without him because you have Tyreek Hill. But he is a damn good player, though. So shout out to Jalen Waddle for getting his money. But you know what? Amon-Ra kind of setting the market a little bit. We'll see what CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson end up getting.
Man, well, I don't know what the Vikings are going to do with Jefferson, man. Yeah, you got to trade the guy, don't you? He turned down 33 already. So how much higher are you going to go?
It's really hard for me to want to say, like, trade Justin Jefferson because I feel like I feel like I have to be the voice of support for Justin Jefferson because the man who usually sits here thinks he's a bum, basically. That's exactly what Neil Rule said. No context whatsoever. But anyway, but I've also said before that you see a lot of like those Ferrari number one wide receivers who haven't really won anything. I mean, Randy Moss, Antonio Brown, Terrell Owens, even Larry Fitzgerald. And I'm not saying it's any of their guys'
He got
fault.
close, though.
He did.
Chill on Larry Fitz. He got close.
So did Randy Moss, for the record.
He did.
And yes,
Still mad
Larry
about
Fitz
that.
absolutely did. So did T.O. The only one who really didn't was Antonio Brown. But I'm not blaming him for it. It's just positional value. Is a number one receiver like that going to be the difference between a Super Bowl and not? On this Vikings team, absolutely not.
It doesn't appear that way. And there was also rumors that the Vikings maybe wanted Malik Neighbors in the draft if they could have swung a deal. Justin Jefferson might have been gone there too. So I just don't know how you pay the man $40 million. As good as he is, best receiver in the league, can't argue it. But that's a lot of money.
I want to piggyback off of what Flannel said, and I completely agree that the positional value isn't necessarily there for number one receivers in the NFL. And I think that doesn't define whether you're going to win a Super Bowl or not. So I like that KG is willing to explore the trade because of the haul that you could get potentially for the best receiver in the league could set you up, just like how the Goff trade set our franchise up, or technically the Stafford trade, set our franchise up to be as good as we are now.
Yeah, and you can always get a receiver. They're starting to become like the running back expendable type. Even though it's a luxury position and a lot of teams go for that position, you can always get a receiver. Always.
And on this Vikings team in particular, they're not winning with Justin Jefferson. They're not winning without. And even last year, and I don't like to do this because it makes it sound like I'm discrediting Justin Jefferson, but I'm not. They won some games when he was out. They won some games when Jordan Addison was wide receiver one and T.J. Hawkinson was there. So it's just, to me, it's not the difference between a Super Bowl and not for this Vikings team.
Definitely
But
not.
he's so good. I hate to sound like I'm disrespecting him. But speaking of people I might have disrespected in the past and have to eat some crow on.
It's all your work right here.
We're going to talk about a certain Detroit Tigers player who is so on fire that he's actually like bursts into flames everywhere he walks. But first, tell us about Guardian Alarm.
I will do that. Guardian Alarm, it's a new year, so let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs, 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's proven to work and people that have been proven to care. Y'all know what it is. We say it every day. 1-800.
Stay out.
Once again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Guardian Alarm, your local security experts.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taking over Metro Detroit. Locations are popping up all over, and they've doubled their number of restaurants this year. Known for their quality hand-battered, hand-breaded chicken, their delicious chicken sandwiches, and their New York-style pizza. You can find a Soroki's at any mega station near you, or go to Sorokis.com to figure out where you can get some of this great food.
Welcome back to Big D Energy Live on the Woodward Sports Network. I am Flannel Sam filling in for Neil Rule. We got KG to my left filling in for Darren McCarty. We got the backups playing today, but you know what? Sometimes the backups do as admirable job as the starters. And at Dante151, I want to clear this up before we move on. Antonio Brown did win a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. Yes, he did.
Oh, he did.
What I should have said was that the Steelers won a couple of Super Bowls, one in the mid-2000s, one in the late 2000s without him, and didn't win one with him. And I'm not saying that Antonio Brown was the reason or anything like that. It's just I think that those teams overall and those defenses were a little bit better constructed in those times than as opposed to when Antonio Brown was there.
Yeah. He caught a touchdown in that Super Bowl, though.
He did. He wasn't quite the same guy as he was then. I guess my point is that, and Justin, you pretty much piggyback me on that. Wide receiver ones, they're not going to usually be the difference between a Super Bowl and not on their own. You've got to construct a team around them that can win a Super Bowl, like the Lions with Amon-Ra St. Brown, for example. But before we get to the Detroit Lions, which we will talk about ad nauseum later, as we should.
Time to eat some crow.
Yes. All right. Matt Vierling. He is hotter than fish grease right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the last 3 games, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs, 8 for 14. And as you're going to see if you watch the Fox 2 app later on Twitter, I basically said that he's having a streak right now, Matt Vierling, that would make prime Triple Crown winning Miguel Cabrera jealous.
Yeah.
The reason why it's notable, though, as related to me, is that after the Tigers had dropped that series to Kansas City where they got swept and didn't even look like they belonged on the same field as a division rival, I basically included Matt Vierling as one of the guys on the team that I think should be gone. I included him, I included Gio Urshela, and of course I included Javi Baez because the fact that he's still here is a joke and a disgrace. However, Matt Vierling is making me look a little foolish right now. And before you guys jump down my throat too much, I had reasons for wanting to get rid of Matt Vierling, which don't look as smart now. At the time, after the Kansas City series, he was hitting .266 with a .299 on-base percentage. To me, that's not a good enough walk rate. I want this team littered with Mark Cannas and the likes of that, or like even Riley Greens or free agency. Go look at Jesse Winker, Scott Harris. Trust me, he'll make your team better. But anywho, if you're not going to walk, you better hit and you better slug. And Matt Vierling has done just that. His OPS is now over 820. His average is damn near 290. And he looks like one of the best hitters on the team. And honestly, with Kerry Carpenter maybe out for an extended period of time, he might be a guy that keeps us afloat. And I might be dead wrong about Matt Vierling all along.
Yeah, and to be honest, Flannel, I need you to start slandering more people. Maybe Torque is next on that list. Because, yeah, and we'll get it more into that in the next segment and everything. But Matt Vierling, the man is hot right now. And, of course, the pace he's on right now ain't exactly the most sustainable. He will fall off the table at some point, but you need this kind of consistency in your offense, especially with Kerry Carpenter going down, who was your hot bat before Vierling took over. You needed somebody to step into that role, and he's done that just fine, man. Let's hope he continues it.
I mean, we'll see. And that's the thing with Matt Vierling, because last year he was a guy who, like, to be honest, going into the season, I was higher on Matt Vierling and even the Gio Urshela signing than some. But like I said before, I like higher walk rates. I don't like guys who are free swingers, and that's kind of what Gio Urshela and Matt Vierling and certainly Javi Baez are. And Gio Urshela, he's had some nice hits lately as well, but he doesn't slug at all. It almost kind of appears like since his injury, he just doesn't really provide any power, and he doesn't walk ever. Yeah. I personally, and this is my philosophy when it comes to the Tigers, because they're still 9.5 out of first, they're still 3 out of the wild card. I would like to litter this lineup with guys who walk a lot and guys who have high on-base percentages. I think the fact that they brought up Akil Baddoo and not Justin Henry Malloy, it makes me, I don't understand.
Just scratch your head sometimes.
Justin Henry Malloy has a .432 on-base percentage this year. Jace Young has a high on-base percentage as well. Yeah. And honestly, and I know we're kind of getting off track a little bit, I would consider bringing back Parker Meadows.
I really?
Parker Meadows has an on-base percentage that's 109 points higher than his average for his career, but he can't hit 100. I know that. He can't hit 100.
I don't know if I'm ready to bring him back up. I know he's been killing down in the minors, but just leave him down there, man. Let him roast a little bit. Sometimes you gotta let shit marinate. So
That's
I just
fair.
let it marinate a little bit.
That's fair. And thank you for that poll. Who's the better hitter, Matt Vierling or Juan Soto? You know what's funny? Juan Soto, to me, is the best hitter alive.
Yeah.
He's the second best baseball player alive after Shohei Ohtani. However, my point when you kind of mentioned what Matt Vierling has done, Juan Soto might not have a stretch that good this season. He might not.
Yeah.
What Matt Vierling's done has been, it's been like.
He heard you, Flannel.
He did. And I guess I should. And I kind of teased this before, but Riley Green, get on a hot streak.
Please.
Hey, Riley Green, you're in danger. You're in danger of me saying you should be shipped out.
We need like 2 or 3 players to get on a hot streak. But that's, once again, the problem with this team, the consistency. Because even with Matt Vierling, he started off the season kind of good. Then we saw a slump. Yeah. Same with Gio Urshela. He started off hot, and then after the injury, he's kind of been wild. He's starting to get back to it lately, but this offense, man, and I understand they are young bats, but when you have so much trouble hitting the fastball, man, it's just like it really sets this team back, because whenever they can really get out there and hit the fastball, the offense looks completely different. Like, how do you win 8-0 in the first game and lose by 8 runs in the second game? Like, these are the types of things that we continue to deal with this team, and the offense just has not found their footing yet, and we don't know why.
Well, I mean, in this particular case, there might be a phenom pitcher who had something to do with it, but more
Facts.
on that later.
Facts.
But I know what you mean. You'll have these weird random games where they'll explode and then they'll get shut out by the Marlins 2 games in a row, which is just completely unacceptable and backbreaking. Spencer Raxter, you want to take your Matt Vierling victory lap on me yet or later?
I'll take it right now.
Right.
I mean, he might hit a home run again today, but
might.
I've always liked Vierling. I thought he was a solid utility player. He could provide a little bit of pop with his bat. He's seen that. I didn't expect him to do what he's doing these past 4 games by any means, but it's been impressive. Hopefully, I don't think this is just going to be who he is from now on. Like, if he continues this pace, he'll be the best hitter in baseball. But so I don't think that's realistic. But hey, we'll take it, man. We need any of that we can get. And when you catch lightning in a bottle, hopefully you can extend that for a couple weeks, and he can have a stretch to keep these Tigers afloat while Torkelson is really struggling, Riley Green is really struggling, and Carpenter's on the IL.
Yeah, you might need him.
Yeah.
And obviously, Matt Vierling has been a big reason why you've won 2 out of 3 and your offense has looked better. I mean, he had a walk-off, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
He's been absolutely spectacular, and you might need someone, like you said, to step up because, I mean, we're going to get into it more later. Spencer Torkelson blows. Jake Rogers blows. Those are just a couple examples. Javi Baez is still the worst everyday player in all of baseball, and those certainly, even during my times of saying that Matt Vierling should be off the team, I never thought that he was the biggest problem.
Oh, of course not.
Or anything like that.
Not even close.
And this is still, the jury's still out on this. I'm not rooting for this so that I'm right or anything like that. I still wonder, and KG, I'm kind of curious to get your opinion on this, what the use is for, say, future Matt Vierling. Because I'm almost, and you may disagree, and if you do, go ahead and say,
okay, I
think the Tigers are done this year.
Yeah.
I think they're done.
It appears that way. There are a lot of games back out of the Central, so that's probably not going to happen. Could they still be a wild card team? Yes, but at this point, I think you do have to start looking ahead a little bit just to see who's going to be on this team, man, because we had Scott Harris come out and talk the other day, and he said specifically they're trying to build around the right young core and make sure that they have the right pieces before they add on via free agency and things of that nature. So it appears, at least from what he said, that they will spend, but they have to make sure that the right young core is in place. Do you have the right players right now? Because you look at Torque, he was supposed to be your home run bomber, your star. He's not showing up. You got a whole bunch of rotational guys and young players that have not really progressed as much as we thought, man. So the key is this young core the right young core to build around?
That's a great question. I would probably say the more likely answer is no.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance that Spencer Torkelson just isn't good. I hope that that's not the case.
Not, but it's starting to appear that way.
Riley Green, he's been absolutely horrendous in the month of May, and it pains me because I love him and I believe in him that he can be a great player, but this is the year that hasn't been derailed by injuries just yet.
Right.
So maybe the wear and tear of a 162-game season might be getting to him a little bit. And of course, Parker Meadows, he had his chance. He blew it. He did. Even if I believe in him and his strike zone discipline and all that, you can't hit 100. You could walk as much as Parker Meadow does all you want, but you can't hit under 100 because even then you might walk a ton, have a 250 on base percentage, which is terrible.
Even Javi's over 100. Come on now.
Right. And Justin Henry Malloy and Jace Young have not seen any big league action, so we will never know.
So while you're talking about the core and whether this is the right core, I think this is the perfect time to bring up something that Broder said in chat. Would you guys be willing to trade Reese Olson and Riley Green for Bo Bichette?
Absolutely not.
Not a chance.
Absolutely not. I'm not that high on Bo Bichette personally, and I understand that he's having a bad year. He's having a really, really bad year, and his previous few they've been fantastic. And obviously, you would take that version of Bo Bichette on this team any day of the week. It's just Reese Olson. We said Reese Olson and Riley Green.
Yeah, I can't give up both.
No,
absolutely
not. Most certainly not. And again, I hate to say it, if Bo Bichette could get the strike zone discipline of his teammate Kevin Biggio, you might combine into a perfect baseball player. Yeah. But he doesn't. Bo Bichette's too much of a free swinger for me. And I understand if Bo Bichette was putting up the numbers this year that he's been putting up in his career, and I had confidence that he would get back to that form, of course I'd take Bo Bichette on this team. But to trade Reese Olson and Riley Green, I think moving forward, Riley Green could be a more valuable player. I might end up looking stupid, but I believe in him.
So far, he's been the better of the two. If you want to compare him and Torque, Riley Green's really been the guy that you maybe want to start building around this team. Not to say he's like a superstar or anything of that nature, but he is definitely, I would consider, one of your cornerstones going forward. As with Torkelson, we just don't know.
Yes,
we don't.
And Broder, another trade proposition that I think is less realistic, but I would take Reese Olson and Torkelson for Vlad Guerrero. Yes, 100%.
Absolutely.
Like, where do I sign on that one?
Yeah.
I would, even if you have to give up Reese Olson, who is another Cy Young candidate on this team. To me, he's every bit the Cy Young candidate that Tarek Skubal is. He just doesn't get the run support, and his record looks bad.
That's true. But if you had the choice between him and Tarek Skubal, you would probably keep Skubal. Just pay the man because he's shown that he's going to be your ace for a long time if he sticks around.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, if that's what it took to get Vlad Guerrero Jr., I would 100% take that, because in the hierarchy of Blue Jays kind of star players, I personally value Vlad Guerrero Jr. much higher than Bo Bichette. Yeah. However, everybody values a great haircut at...
They do. Lady Jane's, man. And shout out to the Jane's girls. They working hard over there. But awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get a good haircut. I wouldn't know nothing about that. It's been years. But you can go get a haircut at Lady Jane's. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, and relax, and let one of the talented Lady Jane's girls get you together, make you feel good, look great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. They hooked me up when my car broke down on the way to an Ohio State-Michigan basketball game, which they actually ended up winning. It was the year before, not this disastrous season. And they hooked up Matt Broder as well. So visit any Feldman Chevrolet near you and get the best service and get yourself a brand new car.
A brand new car.
A brand new car. Welcome back to Big D Energy Live on the Woodward Sports Network. I am Flannel Sam filling in for Neil Rule. We got KG to my left filling in for Darren McCarty, and the tailgate wins in the chat.
Shout out Nick.
Shout out Nick.
Shout out Nick.
Shout out Nick
Shout out
Koloff,
Nick.
Detroit
Those boys.
Mario from Woodward Heavyweights, formerly of Woodward Knights. We got a lot of connections all around here. Flannel and KG, love the duo. Keep crushing. And
Hey, appreciate it.
I'll say this. I enjoy. When I found out I was doing the show with you, KG, I got excited, man.
Yeah, man. We haven't been on the desk since the draft. I think, the draft was my first shot at the desk. But, yeah, we got to get on, man. Long drink flannel that night. But
that was certainly fun. But today is fun as well. And,
yes, sir.
I thought that you want to hear that. And you're doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
You're
I
doing a
appreciate
great
that.
job.
I learned from the best, man.
I appreciate that. And you know who else did a great job yesterday? Did you guys see Paul Skeens?
Man.
My
He
goodness.
is everything as advertised.
He is absolutely everything as advertised. When I look at Paul Skeens, I mean, think about it. He's lived up so far, 4 starts, 2.45 ERA. He pitched 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk.
Yeah.
He's basically, what Paul Skeens is basically is a baseball superhero. He's 6'6", he's a hulk of a man. He dates Livy Dunn.
I was about to say, he's banging Livy Dunn.
He-
Got to throw that in there.
He's banging Livy Dunn. He
Pool
throws
game,
100
crazy.
miles an hour, more than any starter in Major League Baseball by far. And so far in his career, he has absolutely lived up to the hype. Because when you also watch him, he's a good pitcher as well.
Yeah.
He's got good mechanics. He's got great stuff. Obviously, if you throw a high fastball and you try to catch up to it, good luck.
Yeah.
Absolutely good luck. And he had the Tigers flummoxed at times yesterday. But it led me. Well, Spencer Raxter put this thought out, but I'm going to expand on it a little bit. Paul Skeens, number 1 overall pick 2023. Like I said, looks like a baseball superhero, the most hyped young pitcher we've seen since probably Steven Strasburg.
Yeah.
Does it make you long for more out of A, Spencer Torkelson, and B, I'll even throw in Casey Mize?
Yeah, well, absolutely. And with Casey Mize, at least, we are starting to see signs that he's going to be able to recover from that injury that he had. He's had some solid outings so far this year, but with Torque, I mean, you gotta want more from him at this point. It's been around 3 seasons now. His rookie stats and his stats currently ain't looking much different.
No.
It hasn't been a lot of growth, man. And even just to yesterday, 0 for 8 in 2 games. 0 for 8, man. It's not good. And I understand if you're a power hitter, you know, you might strike out a lot, but we aren't even seeing the bombs. We finally got to see a couple Torque bombs, you know, over the last couple weeks, but once again, he's gone dead, man. And I think he was like 3 for 31, and I don't know how many plate appearances, I can't remember, but those numbers just aren't good, man. And so far this year, we can't keep having these type of slow starts when you're the focal point of this offense. So I don't know what to do with him at this point. They seem determined not to send him down. What do you do with Torque at this point?
Well, Honolulu BS, send Torque down. And I'll tell you what, I'll go to Spencer Raxter first, but at this point, I can't even argue, and I wouldn't even hate it. Spencer Raxter, I know maybe more for his off-the-field escapades, but also for his on. He's absolutely electric to watch. I mean, Paul Skeens is must-see TV, and he's 100% lived up to the hype so far. I know it's only been 4 starts, but he 100% looks the part.
Yeah, it's disgusting. You look at it, and it's like when people say, like, effortless gas, like, he's throwing 100, 102 miles an hour, and it doesn't even look like he's trying that hard. Yeah. It's nasty, the stuff he's doing. He is a big horse on that mound, and the way he has a nasty slider, his split he was working the other day too. Like, the guy has a disgusting array of pitches, and the level of velocity between his slide piece and his fastball is just so hard for hitters to focus on one of them. Because like, he throws you an 85 mile per hour fastball, and then he's got the 103 mile an hour, or 85 mile per hour splitter, and then he's got the 103 mile per hour fastball. It's impossible to catch up with. But looking at Torkelson, like, I would not be mad if they sent him down. I think it's much needed at this point. He's hitting like 130 in his past 10 games. Like,
it's not good.
The guy needs to go down. He needs to clear his head. He needs to get the pressure off of him, get his swing back, figure out how to make contact again, and then bring him back up. Like, it happens to every MLB player. Like, it's I don't know why they're protecting him or why they're so scared to hurt his ego. I think leaving him here to die in at-bats is going to hurt his ego more than sending him down to the minors and letting him rake for a couple weeks.
No, seriously, because even when you look back at, okay, he had a slow start last year, there were signs that pointed to, okay, he's going to turn it around. He was making better contact with the ball. This season, it's a total regression, man. He's not even going out there putting solid contact out there. So what do you do? They should have actually been sent him down. I don't know why they continue to they won't even bench him.
Well, yeah, and with Spencer Torkelson, and he's been the most notable, but I'll even include Casey Mize in this because he hasn't had the season that we've all hoped for, although it hasn't been as egregious as, say, Spencer Torkelson.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Tigers, and they've had trouble throughout their past, as we know, of developing homegrown players. But Kerry Carpenter, he's homegrown. He's on the IL right now, but that looks to be a success. And you have Riley Green, homegrown, struggling a bit right now, but I think
overall a success.
It's been a success. I have confidence in him. And Tarek Skubal, not even really a high round pick, but he's developed into a major success. Traded for Reese Olson, he wasn't homegrown, but still. Where would this team be if their 1-1s were playing to the level that we thought that they were capable of? If Spencer Torkelson was even giving you numbers or slash lines similar to last year, where you had an OPS that started with a 7 and an on-base percentage that started with a 3. That's not even a high bar. But even if he just had that, this team could be a couple of games over 500. And Casey Mize, last time he was on a mound for a full year, he had an ERA of 3.71. This year, it's 4.71. I wonder what this team would be if the 1-1s could show up and live up to the hype. I don't know if it's going to happen, but your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, with Casey Mize, it's hard to come in as a pitching phenom and you face that MLB talent. It's hard to hit the ground running. So that's what makes Paul Skeens look so amazing, that he's doing this at this level this quickly. But with Casey Mize, you can point to the injury. This year, I didn't need him to come out and try to be an ace or, I just want him to go out and have solid outings, which he has done. Has he been perfect? No, but he has to get used to seeing that MLB pitching every day. He was gone for a long time, but definitely if we got more out of Torque, this offense will look completely different, man. And I've said it before, you don't need everybody in your hitting lineup to hit. If you could get 4 to 5 guys to hit consistently in this lineup, this offense takes on a whole new level, man. So I don't know, man.
And if they could get Torque, if he could ever regain any of the form that he had during his hot streak last year, I believe this is a lineup that's capable of having 4 or 5 guys that can hit.
Absolutely.
I don't believe it's just full of black holes. I believe in Mark Canha. I believe in Riley Green.
Yeah.
We've seen great things out of Winfield Perez.
Yes.
Kerry Carpenter, we hope that he can come back. Even if you bring up Justin Henry Malloy and Jace Young, I'm really, really high on those guys as prospects. And even if it were up to me, and not that this is a big deal or anything like that, I would make Carson Kelly catcher 1 and Jake Rogers be the guy who just is like the personal catcher of a couple of guys in the starting lineup. But the thing, too, about these number 1 overall picks, I've been looking at kind of the past history of them, and I know it has no bearing on the Tigers right now, but in MLB baseball, where the vast majority of them have to go to the minors first, I mean, let's look at some hitters. For every Bryce Harper, for every Joe Mauer, for every Carlos Correa, there's a Mickey Moniak. You ever heard of Mickey Moniak?
Hell no.
There's a Tim Beckham. You ever heard of Tim Beckham?
I've heard of David Beckham.
Hey, but Tim is his long-lost brother who was drafted by the Rays but didn't do a damn thing.
Damn.
Even a guy like Delman Young, we know him.
Hey, shout out Delman.
Young was solid.
Hey, we know him for his postseason heroics in Detroit, which he did have, by the way. Shout out to Delman Young. But he was not the player that he was projected to be. He was one of the most hyped prospects ever. And I kind of look at him somewhat similarly to Spencer Torkelson, although Delman Young's actually better than Spencer Torkelson. Delman Young's better than Spencer Torkelson
I would
right now.
definitely take a Delman Young right now.
100%. We all would. But my point is, Spencer Torkelson, I don't know if he's going to be a bust that toils in AAA, but he's certainly not what he lived up to. And when it comes to pitchers, I mean, there have been so many, like listen to these number 1 overall picks, and it'll make you feel a little less bad about Casey Mize. Mark Appel, you ever heard of him?
Nope.
Brian Bullington.
Nope.
Luke Hochevar, you might have heard of him because he kind of pitched. He pitched with the Royals. Yeah. He sort of toiled as a starter. Found a little bit of success with the bullpen, but still. Brady Aiken.
No.
Wasn't he the guy that got drafted 1 overall and there was like some issue with his arm or something and he got drafted in another one? But my point is that there's a lot of guys. For every David Price, for every Steven Strasburg, for every Garrett Cole, there's a Brian Bullington. You just never know with
the luck of the draw.
With these number 1 overall picks. But we've seen that both of them can play Major League Baseball. We've seen that both of them can have a whole season worth of what I consider success. I consider Casey Mize's 2021 a success. Yeah. I consider Torque 31 home runs, 94 RBIs. Those are good power numbers.
Yeah, it's not easy to do.
The slash lines weren't great, but those are good power numbers. Do you believe that these guys, and I know it's hard to project into the future, are going to be on this team when they're ready to win?
That's a good question. With Casey Mize, I can definitely see him carve out a niche for this team. Maybe he won't be the ace that we all thought he would be, but if you're coming out giving out solid 6-7 innings every time you go out there, we'll take it. But as far as Torque, I don't know, man, because they invested a lot into him, and you drafted him under the assumption that it wouldn't take that long for him to develop.
Yeah.
He showed signs at the college level that he was going to be able to come in and be a good hitter right away.
Broke Barry Bonds' record.
Yeah, exactly. So, and when you see what he's done through his time with the Tigers, it's just, I don't know. I don't want to say he's a bust just yet. I do at least want to give him to the end of this year to kind of prove where he stands with this team. But going forward, it doesn't seem like he may be in the plans, especially if he continues to struggle and you don't really do anything about it.
If you want my view on Spencer Torkelson, I'll give him the rest of the year.
Yeah, you got to. I feel like you have to.
I'll give him the rest of the year with the caveat that if they decide to send him down, I wouldn't necessarily be mad. I would probably say let him hit his way out of it because I don't think the Tigers are going anywhere anyway. Yeah. However,
well, you can't just let him flounder on the MLB roster.
That's the thing. I was just about to say, if we look back at this team and say he's not going to be the only reason, but what if they finish the season 4 games out of a wild card spot?
Ooh.
And you look at Spencer Torkelson and he hasn't really improved throughout the year. Yeah. You look at even Javi Baez, and he's still doing his dumbass Javi Baez things. Yeah. We're going to look at this season as a waste. And as much as it is an evaluation year in some ways, and I don't want to give up on Torque just yet, he sucks right now.
Yeah.
He's awful. And he's terrible.
And it's not like he hasn't had chances to prove it. Yes. Whenever he hits with runners on base, it never seems to go right. Mm-hmm. And that's somebody that you absolutely need him to hit with runners on base. That's the whole point of having this guy as your number 3 hitter in your lineup.
Yes. I mean, he's had almost 1,200 at-bats in his MLB career. Almost 1,200.
It's a good sample size.
On-base percentage of 298, OPS of 687.
Oof.
Average of 219. That's awful. This season, on-base percentage of 276, OPS of 619. The only good thing he has done in his entire MLB career, the only thing you can look at as objectively positive were the home run and RBI numbers from last year.
Yeah.
I would have even liked a higher on base and a higher OPS, but I also expected him to be at absolute worst the same as he was in terms of slash line wise, but it just hasn't worked out that way. And Spencer Torkelson is he's probably one of the most disappointing players in all of baseball, honestly. Certainly somebody that we expected more of, and you can objectively say that he's probably his poor play and the fact that he leads the team in at-bats has probably directly cost the Tigers a few wins.
Yeah.
If you just had an average MLB first baseman. But you know what? Let's get more positive. Let's talk about the Detroit Lions coming up. Although
a real team. No,
although the subject matter of what we're going to talk about, they went over it on Wake Up Woodward. We're going to go over on BBE. Might make some of you a little upset, but you know what? We're going to talk about it. It's a therapy session. But first, Ben Morax, you got a pet. Where do they go?
Premier Pet Supply, obviously, because Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences, the online and big box retailers. With one major difference, they are family and locally owned and operated for over 30 years. With 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you. Same-day local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Had enough to Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Drive into summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Merch. It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag.
Yeah.
Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com and click shop. Hoodies, tees, and the hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com and click shop.
Boo them kids.
Boo them kids. Welcome back to Big D Energy Live on Woodward Sports Network. I'm Flannel Sam filling in for Neil Rule. We got KG to my left filling in for Darren McCarty, Korean Jesus in the sound booth, and Spencer Raxter at his usual stead in the TD booth. So sometimes I'm on Wake Up Woodward, but when I'm not, like I said, I'm not always here, but I'm always here. And you guys had a spirited discussion about a certain list that was made by, I believe, CBS Sports, ranking the running back rooms in the NFL. And according to this list, tier 1, you've got the 49ers, you've got the Ravens, you've got the Eagles, and you've got the Packers.
Oh, and peep the name, tier 1, Thoroughbreds.
Thoroughbreds. And maybe I'm mistaken, but when we as Lions fans, and I know we're kind of in our bubble to some extent, we always look at the Lions backfield duo as the best in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's being a slappy or a homer or anything like that. I would say that it's objectively a fact. However, this CBS Sports does not necessarily agree with that. And
Fucking
there's a couple of teams that I think are just absolutely egregious. But KG, your thoughts on the Lions being ranked a tier 2 quality depth running back room in the NFL.
CBS Sports, you are a joke. You have been a joke. Every time you mention anything Lions, it's always negative or just something completely outrageous. I mean, come on. We had 2,000-yard backs, man. That hasn't happened. 2,000-yard backs, one all-purpose and one just from the line of scrimmage, man. Like, I don't understand what we got to do to start getting respect around here, especially in terms of lists like this. But this is the whole point of the list. It's to make us talk, debate, get mad at, throw shit. It is what it is. But the fact that you have an Eagles team, I know Saquon, he's a really good back when he's healthy, but that is the key. We have not seen him in an Eagles uniform yet. Who else? You mind throwing that list back up, Spenny?
Yep.
Let me see who else was on that list again. This blasphemous shit. Okay, so the 49ers, fine. Ravens, Derrick Henry. We haven't seen it yet, but fine as Derrick Henry. The Eagles and the Packers are my two biggest things right here because, yes, the Eagles on paper should have a good running game, but we just have not seen it yet. And then the Packers, Josh Jacobs and A.J. Dillon are better than D-Mont and Jahmyr Gibbs. That's what you're telling me.
Korean Jesus, you go. What are your thoughts on this?
This is more blasphemous than the Jordan Love, Jared Goff debate because that fluctuates. You can level the playing field to however you want and whatever grades you want. But push comes to shove, the Lions have one of the best running back rooms in the league. Like you said, you don't see a lot of double 1,000-yard seasons. It's absolutely crazy. You can argue whatever you want about this Lions team, but one thing is for sure, we have an elite backfield, and there should be no other conversation about it.
Yes, and I think Alan W. actually brings up an interesting question, and I'm going to tee it up, and then I'll go to Spenmo Rax on this one. Alan W., would you all really rather have C-Mac on his own or Christian McCaffrey on his own over Monty and Gibbs? And with Christian McCaffrey, I guess you can count Elijah Mitchell, although he didn't do a lot last year.
He's always hurt too.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. In 2021, he was their number 1 running back. He had 963 yards in 11 games. He looked like he was going to be RB1 of the future, but he's had some injury issues. And when you get Christian McCaffrey, who is, for the record, the best in the game right now, probably still by a wide margin, you step aside.
Yeah.
So, Spenmo Rax, What do you think of this running back tiers?
Yeah, I think it's pretty ridiculous, and I just found a graphic that I was looking for on Twitter to kind of add on to our point why this is ridiculous, and here it is. It's the Lions' backfield last year was the first duo in franchise history to each run for 8+ touchdowns in the same season. I believe they were the first duo in NFL history to both go over 1,000 yards and have 10 touchdowns both in the same season. Like these guys, they're different. They play off of each other so well, and you want to talk about it being the offensive line or this and that. Like, no, we saw Jahmyr Gibbs in that season, what he did to people, how he undressed people in the open field. We've seen David Montgomery with the Bears be 1,000+ all-purpose guy every single year. Like every year he's been in the league, he's had over 1,000 yards all-purpose. So having this guy be your second back or your first back compared to an AJ Dillon, that makes the Josh Jacobs to Jahmyr Gibbs is equivocal. I'll say that. You maybe give it to Josh Jacobs now because he's done it more than 1 year and he's got the experience. I personally think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be better than Josh Jacobs next year. But it's not even an argument that David Montgomery's better than A.J. Dillon.
A lot of backs are better than A.J. Dillon.
So to have that backfield above the Lions is absolutely insane to me.
Absolutely. And Okie Razor, I know it's obvious and we all know it, but it's part of it. Demont complements Gibbs perfectly.
Yes.
And we most certainly saw that last year. And even though I think Gibbs should get the lion's share of the carries, no pun intended, no, you don't want any running back to be an actual bell cow. You want, in an ideal world, you'd like somebody to complement them. And that's what I think Demont will be for Gibbs, or hell, maybe even if they each get equal carries again, it wouldn't shock me if both of them were nearly or as successful this upcoming year as they were this past year. I look at tier 1, and I believe there is no argument for any team except for the Lions out of the ones that I just saw. And I'm not usually one to just, and it's not a slappy take or anything like that. With the 49ers, Christian McCaffrey, I've already said, he's the best in the game. Elijah Mitchell as the backup ran for 287 yards last year on 3.7 yards per carry.
Yeah.
And then their third string is a 4th-round rookie. You look at Baltimore, Derrick Henry, one of my favorite football players ever. I loved him at Alabama. I followed his career with the Titans, and now he's going to Baltimore. And I think he'll be good. I really do.
I was about to say, but Baltimore has a cursed history as far as backfield players go. Running backs do not go there and do well, especially injury-wise.
J.K. Dobbins on line 1. Man, what a tragic career he's had. But anywho, Derrick Henry's 30 years old. He's going into year 9. And then you look at Justice Hill. He's had some nice moments, but again, he's never had a season where he's had over 400 rushing yards.
Exactly.
Keaton Mitchell. And I'll give you Keaton Mitchell. And I got to shout out our old friend Lucas Klotz. He was high on Keaton Mitchell from the beginning.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal. He was a demon in a small sample size. Almost 400 rushing yards, over 8 yards a carry. Mm-hmm. But he played 8 games and tore his ACL as a rookie, and he's already a smaller back.
Yeah.
To me, you can't say that backfield is as good as the Lions. And even if you want to look at Philadelphia, Saquon, again, a guy that I have a lot of respect for, a guy who as a rookie was one of my favorite rookie running backs I ever watched, had a damn good year in 2022 and then kind of fell off last year. He's had some injuries. He's going into year 7. The Eagles situation I think will benefit him more than the Giants did, but Saquon's coming off of a down year. Saquon's coming off a year where he didn't break 1,000 yards and he didn't break 4 yards a carry. And then Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell is a jag. He's just a guy. Yeah. He's just a backup. That's all he is. That's all he ever will be. And then their third string, because they usually have a pretty deep running back room with guys like Boston Scott, their third string is listed as 4th-round rookie Will Shipley. Good luck. Yeah. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good player. It's just you can't base that and say that they're a better running back room than the Detroit Lions. And then, of course,
Saquon stay healthy.
I hope so too, actually, because I want to see him on a personal level succeed, except I don't want the Eagles to do anything, obviously, because they're direct competition, but I like Saquon.
Yeah, he's a beast.
But anywho, the Packers might be the most egregious one of them all, and they're the one that, and I don't think there's a legitimate argument for any of them, really, but this one just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Josh Jacobs, 3.5 yards per carry, 805 yards last year. I'm not saying that's all his fault. The previous year, I believe he led the league in rushing, but he's a guy who, as Spenmo Rax has said, had a lot of carries in 2022, had some injuries last year. He might be a guy that's wearing down. Maybe he's going to find some new life in Green Bay. It wouldn't shock me, but you can't base that. And then A.J. Dillon, of all people, who peaked as a second-year player, who last year averaged 3.4 yards per carry as a backup in a situation that was designed for him to succeed because Aaron Jones was out for so long. He did nothing. And then their third string, like a lot of these third strings, a rookie third rounder.
Yeah.
There is no competition to me for the Lions having the best backfield in the NFL. And I'll go even further. I don't think the Dolphins is a legitimate competition yet. Because
I mean, Achane is nice before he got hurt. He was real nice.
He is. Raheem Mostert had a phenomenal year last year. I give him all the credit in the world. But before he came to the Dolphins in 2022, he was an injury-prone journeyman.
Yep.
And he's 32 years old. I don't see a bright future for him moving forward. And Achane, on a per-carry basis, might have been the best rookie running back in the NFL. He was by the numbers, 800 yards, 7.8 yards per carry, but he missed 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
So for all of those reasons, and when I kind of broke down every individual running back room that is in direct competition with the Lions, I think it's even more clear that the Lions have the best running back room in the NFL. And I would say there's kind of a gap.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion, because when you take into account the whole room, the whole running back room, there's no way you can't put the Lions first, man. But this isn't just a CBS thing. This has been a PFF thing. This has been a Mike Florio and Chris Sims thing. For some reason, the Lions backfield continues to just get disrespected. And I don't know what it is. Maybe they just don't believe in Gibbs just yet. To me, D-Mont doesn't get enough credit for being a complete back and for coming to the Lions and showing the whole league that he is a complete back. I don't get it, man. I don't get what all the hate is about.
Well, he proved me wrong because I wasn't a big D-Mont guy, but with the Lions, he thrived. And I got to give him a
like
ton.
Like Smitty said, he in Chicago, he was 1,000 all-purpose.
Yeah, but 1,000 all-purpose doesn't mean a whole lot to me as an NFL running back. And I'm not trying to discredit David Montgomery or anything like that, but a lot of guys get 1,000 yards rushing. But again, well done, David Montgomery. You had a 75-yard run
behind a shitty O-line. Can you get 800 yards and some passing yards behind a shitty O-line?
And you know what? David Montgomery, I will say this. He proved the narrative that it was the Bears' fault and not his last year.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I will give him all the credit in the world. I'm getting a little pushback from one Brandon Katz about some of the things I said. And you know what? It's not even that off base. I just want to respond. Mostert averaged 6 yards per carry with the 49ers. I'll say this. Raheem Mostert had his moments.
He's fast, man.
Yeah.
He is. However, he was always hurt, and he's now 32 years old.
Yeah.
That plays a part of it. Same with Saquon Barkley. Barkley had injuries. 100%. 100% he has. I'm not saying last season and the year where he tore his ACL were necessarily his fault. It's just it wears a running back down. I could 100% see him having a breakout year in Philadelphia. Wouldn't shock me at all.
Yeah, because they can't stack the box like they did in New York, man.
100%. I mean, with all the weapons, the AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, of course, Jalen Hurts, I think Saquon is going to have a great year.
But has he taken so much of a beating to this point that it won't last?
Absolute. I don't know.
It's plausible.
Like
I said, we just haven't seen it with the Eagles. So to have them up there too is kind of questionable. Although we assume they will have a good year.
Yeah, I would like to interject some stats into this because I was looking up some stats, and it is absolutely wild. The Packers were 15th in total rushing yards last year with a better RB, in my opinion, in Aaron Jones. And then the Eagles were in 8th, not even remotely close to the top 5, where the Lions were top 5, and still had an elite passing attack, which a lot of these teams up here did not have an elite passing attack to go along with their elite rushing attack. So
yeah, I mean, right now the Lions should be number 1 on this, or at least in tier 1. And as I said before, when I actually thought before I really kind of dove into it that there was more of an argument for other teams than there actually is. I think that it's the Lions as clear as day, and we're gonna see.
Yeah, we are gonna see.
Would a bounce back year from Josh Jacobs be out of the question? Of course not. Same with Saquon Barkley. I could see it from both of them, and we might be having a different conversation next year. It's just sometimes when I hear a little bit of pushback when it comes to, say, Saquon with the Eagles and Josh Jacobs with the Packers and them ranking above the Lions, I ask the same question that Neil Rule often asks, and I've heard Sean Baligian, another legend, say a lot as well. Based on what? Both of them are coming off of down years.
Yeah.
Both of them. And both of them have a lot of tread on the tire, more tread on the tire than Jahmyr Gibbs, for example, who to me is the RB1 of the Lions.
And even if you're talking projections, you have to assume that D-Mont and Jahmyr Gibbs are only going to get better.
Certainly Gibbs.
Yeah.
And Montgomery, you could call this his second career.
Yeah.
You can. He has some wear and tear in him as well from Chicago, but he played 14 games last year. If he does it again, I could see another 1,000-yard season. Hell,
Yeah,
maybe
right.
he'll play more. But if you want to get in better shape, if anybody wants to get in better shape so they can, run, look like Gibbs or Montgomery, you probably won't, but that's okay. Go to Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for only $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Dispo Dispensary, and just got the text this morning, man. They got some new deals on. I'm gonna have to stop through, but you all know what it is, man. They deals is too good to miss. Meet a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere and shopping experience. Try the freshest inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. Come through our stores or order on Dispo Dash today. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com. Your local cannabis plug.
Smoke weed every day.
Smoke weed every day.
Damn right.
You guys can. I will not. But you know what? Disco's
I'll take
a great
a puff
place.
for you. I got you.
I appreciate that, KG. But welcome back to Big D Energy. Going into the second hour. Time absolutely flies when you're having fun. And I'm having
sir.
fun today. This has been a really fun show.
Shout out Neil and D-Mac.
Shout out Neil and D-Mac. Wouldn't be here without them. And can't wait for them to get back.
The
Yeah.
B team's killing it though.
The
We
B
have
team is
today-
killing it. Hey, you know what?
Gotta have good reserves, man.
Absolutely.
That's what makes a great team.
And Esoteric in the chat. You'll never look like D-Mont, but go work out anyway. It's crazy, Flannel. LOL. But you know what? We all know that. We all know that.
Genetics play a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, to some extent,
Some
David-
people are God gifted.
David Montgomery, to some extent, won the genetic lottery. To some. To at least, obviously, it takes a lot of hard work, and a guy like David Montgomery isn't as physically gifted as, say, like a LeBron James who hit the ultimate genetic lottery, but still, you can't be born like Flannel Sam and be an NFL running back.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Wouldn't work out too well for you.
I appreciate how you said yeah really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't even say like, no, I'm kidding. But
Broken leg
I
first
mean,
season.
you saw Joik Bell, right?
yes,
There's a pretty big difference. And that means Joik Bell is a freak of freaks.
Right.
Joik Bell is one of the largest human beings I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's
and
huge.
on a football
Pause.
field on TV, I mean, he looks like a big running back. When
Yeah.
you see him in person, he's a brick shit
His
house.
thighs are like pause. His thighs are huge.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
insane. Stick said he could tackle him. I was like,
Shit.
Nope.
not a fucking
Good luck,
chance.
Stick.
I love Stick. I love his confidence, but there is no fucking way.
Yeah.
he would be able to tackle Joik one-on-one.
Hey, DNCENT, Junior D Energy. That's fair.
Yeah.
Just a fan. New segment. Flannel Sam's 20 lettuce pizza recipes.
Oh God,
That lettuce shit was wild.
I'll tell you
I ain't
what.
gonna hold you.
I thought about it and like BLT pizza is good. Like
come on,
going to American Pie. I don't know if you guys have ever been to American
have
Pie.
been to American Pie.
Yeah, but like BLT pizza is good. The Big Mac pizza is good. But I'm not choosing lettuce as one of my only vegetable toppings. Like, that's what got me. When you said if I had to choose a vegetable, it would be lettuce. I was like, whoa,
Yeah,
all right.
that's Jeffrey Dahmer levels of crazy. I just don't understand.
That was crazy. I can't believe you said that, Flannel. What sparks the idea of having lettuce on a pizza?
Because I need lettuce in my life. It's my superfood. And you might kind of find it a little bit dorky, but at least when I have lettuce, I feel stronger. I feel more competent. I do.
Popeye.
Yeah, he's like Popeye with spinach, man.
I think, you know what? It's all right. I feel more confident, and I feel just more. It's basically what like enhancements are to some. I'll just say that. And
How
I'm
about
not
you just drink more water?
I was just about to say that. Literally, just drink water, bro. That's all it is water in leaf form.
Look at that. Prime H2O.
H2O.
Do I wish that it was Dr. Pepper or Coca-Cola? Absolutely.
Water
but I can't drink.
sucks.
I
It
can't
really,
drink that
really
too
sucks.
much. Ah, man, Gromit 0237. This isn't very nice. Micro D energy.
Oh,
Damn, hold on, bro. You don't know what's going on down here. Chill out. I'm just saying, man. Damn.
You know what?
We appreciate the patronage, though. Absolutely.
To paraphrase Alan Rickman's appearance on the TV show New Girl, you guys don't hate my takes. It's because of my micro penis. Shout out. Drop it down in the chat if you ever saw that
Ask
episode.
me about my wiener.
Hey.
Flannel don't be playing, y'all. Hey, this is my guy, man.
New Girl's a funny show.
New Girl's a great show. Although, you know what? Fuck it. We have 4 minutes left. You know my problem with New Girl?
What's that?
And I
Talk
know,
about
and
it.
I know if you guys haven't watched the show,
Get it off your chest.
Come in hot with the New Girl takes.
Zoe Deschanel not doing it for you, huh?
She's not, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Cece's hot.
Cece for sure. But the show would have been so much better if it would have just been Nick, Schmidt, and Coach from the beginning, and Winston stayed the hell off the show forever.
Wow.
Coach is the man. Damon Wayans Jr.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That very first pilot episode, one of the greatest pilot episodes of any show ever. And then the next episode, there's a new guy who ends up being Winston, who ends up having a weird love for his cat.
Okay.
It's fair.
Coach is the man. He shows up later. He shows up and kind of becomes a fourth member of that crew. But at the same time, I always want to Coach. He's the man.
It's good to see a token black getting love.
That's
So.
Well, they replaced one with the other.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Brandon's grandma. Sam has all the red flags for a serial killer. Never heard that one before. King
The
Horse.
constant flannels.
I've been through King Horse in the heavyweights.
The
chat.
lettuce
I
on
can handle
pizza.
anything.
Yeah,
It's all adding up.
Hey,
Yeah.
Brandon Katz, I have a weird love for my cat. I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
I am sure you do. Okie Razor, so Sam's gay.
Oh,
Whoa.
wait. He has a
He's
wife.
got a
right?
wife.
Come on now.
I do.
And
have
I've
one.
seen her. She's real.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's a very nice lady.
She is. She 100% is. John effing Ord. Ooh, Flannel said another woman is hot. Someone tell Flannel's wife. I did not. Spenny said that
I said she was
was.
hot.
And then I just,
Thumbs up.
Flannel just gave up thumbs up. Yeah.
you know what? It's so,
CC is hot.
it's not even close. Her and like Zoe Deschanel.
Both of Schmidt's girlfriends are hot.
Which was the other one?
I can't remember her name.
There were a few. There was that one where he was with that like boss woman or whatever. He had that contract. Was that the one?
No.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
You can't get this kind of analysis anywhere else. Only Woodward Sports. baby.
Absolutely.
And shout out Aaron to the Stone. Mexican pizza from Taco Bell is elite.
It's overrated.
Hey, it's overrated. Thank you. Yeah.
It's overrated. A lot of shit from Taco Bell. is
Anytime
overrated.
somebody's like, oh, you know.
What's your go-to at Taco Bell then if you're gonna slander the Mexican pizza?
Chicken quesadilla. Or
Yeah, you got the classic.
Okay, you
Yeah.
basic white bitches.
Those quesadillas are good. That sauce.
Yeah.
Jesus
The quesarito when they had that was solid. The flatbreads when
I'll
they had
accept
that
the
was solid.
quesarito, but the regular quesadilla is a basic white bitch answer. That's what my girlfriend gets.
Hey, your girlfriend's got good taste.
Right?
About to say.
Cheesy gordita crunch.
Hey,
that
thanks.
shit's
She does
fire.
have good taste in me.
It used to be the chicken burritos, but they got rid of those.
I know. That was the stupidest shit they ever did.
Chicken burritos with some hot sauce.
Yeah.
Game over.
Can't fail.
Man, I gotta go there. I gotta go there after the show. This
can't
chat
even
is on
eat it no
fire. Anakin Sky Ogre. Hey,
Shout out.
nice to have you. Nice to have you in there. But you know what? Let's talk about something that unites all of the people, especially when it comes to me versus everybody else. Jamison Williams.
Your favorite player.
Jamison Williams coming up next. But first, I got to tell you about a show that I also appear on.
You
I'm
damn
not
right.
just on one, I'm on two.
Promote
and
our
I'm
shit.
always around. Woodward
Promote
Sports
our
has a
shit.
new morning show.
Woo woo. It's Swiss.
It's Swiss. Okay.
Oh, it's Swiss.
My
That's-
bad.
That's
you're
your
good.
boy.
You're
That's
good.
your
That is my
homeboy
bad.
over here. And come on now, y'all need the best coverage possible that you can possibly get. We know the drivers out here fucking insane. So Swiss Insurance got your back, man. Now more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. Y'all give Mark a call, man. 313-530-1698. SwissINS.com is where you can go to get the best coverage in Michigan.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Now, come on, y'all. This is me. You know I wouldn't lie to you now. If you need a car, Les Stanford is most likely your choice, man. They've been running a great business for over 50 years. And when you do that, you expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford has been doing by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Ave, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Pushing and keeping it pushing. Big D Energy live on Woodward Sports Network. I am Flannel Sam filling in for Neil Rule. We got KG to my left filling in for Darren McCarty. I'm seeing a lot of chatter about how my veins are going to be popping and I'm going to freak out this segment.
We're going to try and keep him to a certain level today.
Hey, which means we can only be talking about one thing. Jamison Williams.
Goes.
Jamison Rice, Jerry Williams. Already.
Exactly.
Anywho, I was a little
Retire the number.
shouldn't have been surprised. Should not have
It's a
been
new
surprised.
number 9 in
There's a
town.
new number 9 in town.
That's actually true, and I actually could see that. Like I said, I think, you know what, I'll save it till after I let you guys go. Do you believe that Jamison Williams can be a wide receiver 2 for this team?
Why wouldn't I believe that? I mean, and I know, Flannel, I know what you're going to say. I know the injury and the suspension and all this crap. Listen, man, they drafted this man to be this. So, to your point, it will be a make or break year for J-Mo. We need to see a lot of improvement. Let's not kid ourselves. But the man, when you look at his ceiling, his ability, there's no reason why I should think that he can't hit those benchmarks. Now, he's going to be getting targeted more. To me, that was one of the bigger issues with this offense, is just him being the third option, not really seeing the looks that I felt like he should get, especially when you got him kind of back early from that suspension. I felt like he should have been more of a focal point in the offense earlier on, but I guess Goff had to develop that chemistry with him. But with the whole offseason training camp, I have no doubts that J-Mo will go out here and go crazy. Now, do I think he'll get like 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns? Not necessarily, but if he can get to that 700-800 yard mark and put some TDs on the board like we know he can, then I'm cool with it, man. And then we just need to see improvement from year to year. But J-Mo, Wide receiver 2, book it.
Well, and just for the record, I'm not going to say he's a bust if he doesn't get 1,200 yards.
Thank you.
You
better not.
There are other benchmarks that he could hit to where I'd be happy with. And who farted? Hey, the only thing J-Mo's missing is lettuce. Hey, you know what? I can.
He got lettuce. He got a lot of lettuce.
Yeah.
Hey, I can certainly give you a nice pizza
Smoke
recipe.
weed every day.
But I don't know why J-Mo would take a pizza recipe from me. But you know what? If you did,
He
let
does
us know your
eat
pizza.
weird shit, so he might.
Does he eat weird? He does. Oh yeah, he had that McFlurry on his.
Yeah, that was him.
McFlurry on the McDouble was disgusting.
That is a little bit weird. So yeah, lettuce on pizza. Who says no, right? Korean Jesus.
A lot of people.
Facts. How are you feeling? Are you feeling comfortable with Jameson Williams being the wide receiver 2 for next year?
I am extremely comfortable. I am cozied up in my bed with a huge comforter cozy. I love it. I think he's going to take a big step forward. I think the missing training camp last year really, because the suspension really brought him a step back, and he had to recover from that before he was able to take those step forwards late in the season. So I think you're going to see another huge step forward, and I think that he is the perfect. We always talk about how good Monty is to Gibbs. Well, how about how good J-Mo is for Amon-Ra?
Yeah. That's a good point.
I mean, we'll see. We will most certainly see. Although,
of course, you're saying that.
I heard a lot of people giving Jameson Williams all the credit for the field being open. I hear that a lot. Even though Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown were perfectly fine when he wasn't playing. But anywho, this isn't a hate from a Jameson Williams segment.
A little bit of hate.
Spencer Raxter, J-Mo, wide receiver 2. Any trepidations whatsoever?
No, I mean it's definitely, we got to see it happen for sure. But I believe in it. The way we saw him down the stretch of games last year, especially in the playoffs, being the guy that Goff can depend on, being a guy that you're not worried about as a liability. Is he going to catch the ball or not? We saw him make some very impressive hands catches with guys draped all over him. We saw his route tree expand a little bit rather than just being a token deep shot guy on that field. So
yeah.
I expect the offseason work and a continuation of what happened last year to kind of push forward into this season, and he's going to take a jump. I believe that.
And I've said it before, even though nobody wants to listen, I think he's going to have a good year. If you want a stat prediction from me, which I don't know what that even really matters or if it's going to matter, I would say if you want to just go receiving, maybe 800 receiving yards, 5-6 touchdowns, and then maybe like 100 to 200 rushing yards, a touchdown or two. That is 100% achievable. And even though it's not what you would call like all pro or Pro Bowl numbers, a lot of people say this here. As long as he contributes to wins, as long as the Lions are winning, we're all going to be united and we're going to be fine. And like I said, I think that Jameson Williams, he's set up to have the best year of his career. He's going to get more targets. He's hopefully going to get a training camp, going to step on the field day one and just ready to go. But like I said, I keep seeing stuff like this in the chat. From Detroit Dabber, my favorite person. J-Mo haters are weird.
You did call the man a bust.
Here's the thing, though. And this is what I feel like with most, I've been able to break a little bit of bread. Not with like the cult of J-Mo led by Neil Rule, but with more reasonable people. I feel the energy that people are very, very protective over him. That maybe one group goes too far one way and one group goes too far the other way.
But would you agree that some of the things that have happened to J-Mo have not all been his fault?
Fair. That's 100% fair. But I've heard, in my opinion, and a lot of people aren't going to like this, but I'm just going to say it. He wasn't injured on May 20th before his rookie year. He was injured January 8th. I'm not saying that he had to come in as a rookie and be an all-pro or anything like that, but he came into a game, he made a play, he made a catch, and then the rest of the year he didn't catch one pass.
Well,
he had a run.
You wouldn't blame the team for that? They're the ones that controlled his usage and that wanted to wait to bring him along. They told us they were going to bring him along slowly. That's
fine. But the second year, at some point, you have to be responsible for the targets you get. And this year, he has more chances. No Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds was an incredibly big part of this offense. He's gone. They didn't replace him.
Yeah.
Obviously, they believe in Jameson Williams and that he's capable of taking over wide receiver too. It's just, what I was saying is, I understand that there is a segment of people, not me, not me, even though you guys aren't going to believe me, that want to throw him out of the league.
Yeah.
And look at him as, for some more off the field stuff, as reasons why he's not going to succeed. That's not me.
What has he done off the field that's been so bad?
Well, there was the fireworks. There was the.
Who cares?
You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out
The
of here.
guy didn't JPP himself. He didn't blow his fingers off.
He was setting off fireworks on the 4th of July.
There was the gambling suspension where 5 minutes later he went to Vegas. There was the.
You mean where he gambled on a college, not an NFL game, a college game in a quote, quote, team facility, which was a hotel.
It cost him games, though.
It did. But that's not his fault. And then the NFL
nothing's
showed
ever
you
his fault.
And it's not that, Sam, but the NFL showed you how bogus that was. They changed the rule. Literally, they changed. When does the NFL change rules? They don't.
They don't. However, and my point is that the way that people. Thank you for the X-Files.
Hey, Justin Lerner, you take it from your boy, man.
The way that people defend this man for every single thing, you would think he's made an All-Pro already. My point is that last season, he has not shown enough to me to get this undying faith from like the cult of JMO.
I get you.
That's all I'm saying.
And I know you're more on the production side, and that's we have no problem with that. Like I said, of course he has to show it, but it's just the fact that some of the factors, there are caveats to every situation. And in J-Mo's situation, they drafted him injured. If he wasn't injured, he would have been the first probably wide receiver off the board. He was that electric. We can say that. We can sit here and say that today. The gambling suspension, however you feel about it, the NFL changed the rule and they shortened his suspension to only 4 games when it was supposed to be 6 or 7. So
Let him cook.
Yes, he did come along slow, but he hadn't seen the field time up until that point. And he had to learn. He had to grow. Even he has said that he had to mature in a lot of ways. And that's another factor of this that I know you don't necessarily put a lot of stock into. But for Dan Campbell, somebody that has come out and openly criticized J-Mo in the media, and people took that and ran with that. For him to come out and say that this guy has been the most improved player this offseason, and for J-Mo to go in front of the reporters and tell them, hey, I'm a lot more focused this year. I had a lot of childish ways that I had to shed, but I'm ready to come in here and help this team win. That should account for something. I know we still need to see it on the field, but I'm telling you, man, there should be more of a belief that J-Mo can hit this level of production.
And you know what? The Dan Campbell comments, I think some people took them and ran with them a little bit too far. However, they're not nothing. And I do believe that this is the year where he, at the very least, has the best season of his career. And I don't think that that's necessarily hate to say that. It's just some people might see my trepidation as a little bit of hate. And you know what? It's all well and good. It's like just a fan at me. Just take that loss and move on and say I was wrong. The last we saw of him was a 354 receiving yard season. The man has literally never had 70 receiving yards in a game. And people want me to just be like, you know what? Every criticism that I ever had is invalid because we think that he's going to be good, and Dan Campbell said some nice things.
And
hold your victory lap until the season at least. Jesus Christ.
I'm not judging, just like to shoot straight.
I do get that, but if you watch the games, which I know you do, I'm not saying you don't, but if you watch the games, you can see J-Mo's progression. A lot of people may talk about, oh, he drops balls. If you watch the games, you'll notice he had maybe 3 to 4 weeks of dropping passes before he caught on and he started to contribute. On top of the fact that the guy, he blocks on run plays, he supports his teammates, even more so than him sometimes. Like, he's selfless. He's a selfless player. You need that in your locker room. And as the season progressed, he got better and better and better. To Spinny's point, the route tree, a lot of people thought he was just a deep route guy. That's not the case. He can hit you on these short routes, these drags, these outs, these ends. He can do it all. And then to me, it all culminated in the NFC Championship game where he was responsible for 2 of your scores. Was it pretty? No, but the guy, he went out there and performed in a situation that a lot of people would say was a little too big for him. He went out there and showed you that he's capable of doing it on the big stage. So with the whole year of training camp and being focused and implementing him into the game plan, like we know Ben Johnson can, I don't see why he can't take that leap. But to your point, we do need to see it. Not trying to say he's never done anything wrong, like the away fan in here. I understand he did gamble. Yes, that was his decision. But there are caveats, man. The NFL does not explain these gambling policies and rules to the best of their ability. And like I said, they would have never changed the rule if it wasn't some BS.
And you know what? I'll say this right now. if Jamison Williams gets 1,000 receiving yards, I will buy a J-Mo jersey.
Hey.
I am dead fucking serious.
Okay.
I will do that.
All right.
Because
that's on wax.
Write it down.
We got it.
100%.
Yep. We got him.
Because you people
Whoa.
act like he's already done it. You people make it seem like he's already done it and like it's a foregone conclusion. And I understand.
No, I'll talk shit.
Now, I understand. I understand that he did show some progression. I understand that he showed some flashes. I understand that he got more consistent targets as time went on. I understand how in the NFC Championship game, he had the play that took everyone's breath away the most. I reject, thank you for that. I reject the notion that he was the best player on the field because then it discredits everyone on the 49ers, and I think it discredits Monty and St. Brown and Laporta. However, we've seen it. We've seen some flashes. I don't think it's crazy for me to have a few, I would say, issues with his first couple of seasons, and I need to see a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's no problem. And like I said, it's not that we're just blindly trusting in J-Mo. Like, clearly he needs to show it on the field. I don't think anybody that supports J-Mo would say otherwise, but I'm just saying, just chill a little bit.
That's fair.
Let him marinate, man.
Hey, I might be getting a jersey. And
you might be.
And I'm sure you guys would all love to see that. Just a fan. You people, Sam, are you chattist? Some days, yes.
This bitch
Some days, yes. No. I'm
Put the hood on me now. No.
Come on. I'm obviously just yanking your guys' chain. I love you guys in the chat sometimes, although Shad said something earlier that makes you a fucking idiot.
Oh,
Anywho,
Shad.
Let's talk about
Shad.
a show that
Hey,
you
I'm
can
not
also
judging,
find me
just
on
like to
every
shoot
once in a
straight.
while. And Shad, you know what it is. I'm not going to repeat it. Woodward Sports has a new morning show. Start your
crew.
day with Wake Up Woodward Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. live on Woodward Sports. Join Kool-Aid, myself, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and KG every
sir.
morning as they cover all of Detroit sports, sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction, all on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
You see they gave the man with the dreads all the marijuana reads. I mean, come on, guys. But Glorious Cannabis, man, the new Glorious Ice Water Bubble Hash Pre-Roll now has diamonds, man. I ain't talking hard diamonds. I'm talking the pure THC diamond dust, allowing flower and the highest terps, making the best even better. So Glorious Cannabis, check us out at your local retailer or gloriouscanna2ns.com.
Welcome back to Big D Energy Live on Woodward Sports Network. I am Flannel Sam filling in for Neil Rule. We got KG to my left, and I've actually looking forward to having this conversation with you because I know we've had it on other shows. I don't think I've asked you.
Okay.
Trajan Langdon.
Yes.
To me, I'll just give like a Cliff Notes. He's got a good pedigree.
Yeah.
The New Orleans Pelicans were clearly a well-run organization.
Yeah.
However, there's a little problem.
And that problem is?
There's a name by the name of Tellum that is associated with him.
We can't get away from him.
You can't. You most certainly cannot. And with all of that into consideration, the question that I have that Spenmo Rax esteemingly put on this sheet, how much confidence do you have in Trajan Langdon to fix the Pistons?
Don't ask me that right now, man.
Fair enough.
I can't speak to how confident I am in this guy. Of course, I'm hopeful that he can come in and make some tangible change, but of course there's the Tellum factor, which we don't know if he's going to have full autonomy. They said he would, but saying and doing is two different things. Appreciate the booze. But, yeah, it's just I don't know, man. But I do have faith in the Tell 'em connection. When you really think about it, the guy was a super agent for so long. He's going to be connected to a lot of people in this league. So it's not to say that, it's kind of unavoidable in some aspects, but he does have a good pedigree. The Pelicans did become a better organization under him. Now, how much of that was David Griffin, dipping in the pot as well? We don't know. We talked to a Pelicans reporter on Wake Up Woodward, said he was more of a quiet, reserved guy, but she also said that he's not the type to lay down for anyone or to be pushed around by anyone. So that's good coming in because we know the history with the Tell-ems and everything, but they got to find some way to turn this team around and quickly. You can't add another kid to this roster. So you have to consider jumping in the trade market to try to trade for an impact player and try to turn this thing around. But time will tell.
Yeah, it's definitely a conflict of, I would say, impulses because in my personal opinion, and we know that obviously there's the David Griffin factor, and we've kind of learned from the Pistons organization that sometimes there's more cooks in the kitchen than you might think. I'm not saying it's the Pelicans, but David Griffin's obviously been a high-level executive in this league, and he was part of the Pelicans organization too. That being said, what the Pelicans were able to do with Tredge and Langdon as the GM was pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
I mean, the Zion Williamson draft pick was obvious, but the draft night trade for Trey Murphy, who was a 17 overall pick, that was a hit. The Herb Jones second-round pick, that was a huge hit. One of the better value picks, I'd say, of the past 3 to 5 years or so. Yep. The trade for Brandon Ingram, who they got as part of the Anthony Davis package. The trade for C.J. McCollum, who they got for part of the Josh Hart, among others, package, who Josh Hart was gotten from the Anthony Davis package, and then acquiring Jonas Valanciunas. I think this was a team, the Pelicans, that if healthy, and that's a big if because Zion Williamson's one of the most injured players in NBA history. Brandon Ingram's had issues. Trey Murphy had issues this year. I think that this was a championship contending roster.
Yeah.
I do. But it obviously didn't work out that way. They were 3 games out of the 4 seed, and a lot of players missed some games. That was definitely achievable. So to me, Tredge and Langdon has a lot of pedigree of doing great things for a very well-run organization.
But
however,
we heard the same thing about Troy Weaver, though.
I'm so glad you brought that up because you're bringing that up, and Spenmo, you brought that up as well. I don't think Troy Weaver's resume was as good as Tredge and Langdon's.
Yeah.
However, he was an assistant GM or whatever he was for many years with Oklahoma City, which I think we would also agree is a well-run organization.
Absolutely.
He comes here, and the Pistons have been the worst franchise in NBA basketball ever since he's been there, and they still are. Same with Monty Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if I was hooting and hollering too much, but Monty Williams was the slam dunk hire. I was like, I don't want no Kevin Ollie. Charles Lee would have been fine, but we want Monty Williams. We want the guy that's taken a team to the finals. We want a guy who has, a resume and some pedigree and has a lot of experience and has had success. It was an abject disaster.
Absolutely.
Everything about Monty Williams with this team and how he fit with them and the timeline of success.
The weird thing with Jaden Ivey.
The weird thing with Jaden Ivey, some of the weird bench rotations and whatnot. It's been a disaster from the beginning. And the reason I bring that up is because I can wax poetic about Tredge and Langdon all that I want, and I think he's earned it.
Yeah.
However, Troy Weaver, I think, for what he did at OKC, given when he was hired, was worthy of waxing poetic about. So is Monty Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of them have worked out, and a lot of us believe, and I think rightfully so, it's because there are just too many cooks in the kitchen who just aren't on the same page. And Spenny, I know we talked about it before, but the tell 'em factor, that's just too much for a lot of people, and I don't blame them one bit.
Yeah, it's tough, and I agree. That was my whole point, is how many times are we going to be fed this same reasoning and see it work out and just blindly accept it? Troy Weaver, it was a great hire. Everybody thought it was a great hire on paper. Monty Williams, a great hire. Everybody thought it was a great hire on paper. And Trajan Langdon is the same thing. So I hope he gets it right. I hope he has the ability to make the decisions. But all of the things I hear about him is respected in basketball circles, great basketball mind.
Same as Troy.
Same as Troy, same as Monty. I'm sure all those things are true. but will he have the ability to make the decisions that he wants to make? And that's the big question. And I don't believe he will. That's what it is for me. And the one thing that I thought is, if you were a serious franchise, you would have cleaned house. That should have been your first move after a 14-win season, is to clean house and get rid of anybody who had even a hand in the development or the accumulation of the talent on this roster. But you didn't do that. So to me, you are an unserious organization. So I will not respect any of the moves you make. And that's no slight to Trajan Langdon and his basketball acumen, but I just can't see the Pistons front office and the Pistons powers that be making the right decision or allowing the people they put in power to make the right decision.
Yeah, and as I said before, I love what Trajan Langdon has done, and I have a ton of faith that if he were given the reins, he could help build this team back into relevancy. But the Tellem factor, the Tom Gores factor, I mean, Chuck Brewer, we've been a trash front office since Gores brought the team. What's the common factor? There's very little to look forward to, and trust me, when I dove deep into the Trajan Langdon hire, I got excited. And then I came to BDE on that Friday, and Spenny was just like, no. But I can't blame you.
Yeah.
What can I say? What can I say other than he has a Tellem connection? Arm Tellem and Tom Gores and all of them have played a major role in destroying this franchise, making it the worst. What have they won in the last 4 games? Like 72 games or something like that? Yeah. What is it, like 23, 20, 17, and 14? That's planets colliding awful.
Yeah.
That's not progress. That's having a lot of your young up-and-coming players who you're excited about playing more games. There's no real injury factor, and they're worse.
Yeah.
It's just,
and they've been lacking an identity for forever. And with Trajan coming in, this is a tough job, man. He has his work cut out, man. Not saying he can't succeed, but you look at how tough this job is. You got the Cade factor. You have to do right by Cade. He is your franchise player going forward. You're probably going to have to pay him the max. But if you continue to fail and flounder, you're going to end up having to trade this guy. Like, there's so many factors as to why he won't succeed. With this job. He's never had a president of basketball ops title before. I do understand he's done his work as a scout and he's worked his way up the leaderboard. I am happy about that because, they were talking JJ Redick at one point, which I do feel he's a great basketball mind, but no NBA experience in the front office. I'm weary of that as well. So he's got his work cut out, man. And I just hope that they let him live and die on his own decisions. I've been screaming it all week. That's all I really want from this going forward. Let the people that are in charge of this really be in charge of this. If they fail, fine. Yeah. But just please, we need to see what they're made of without all the interference from the higher ups.
It can't get any worse. I mean, Oki Razor, and this sounds dramatic, but it's not. It's a tragedy what they've done to Detroit basketball. I mean, 100%. This
really is.
This is a franchise, as we've always said. They're 100%. I remember when that used to mean something.
Right.
Oh, God. Those
y'all doing Mason Bold, man. Shout out to Mason, man.
Shout out to Mason. Those bring back some memories that are certainly bittersweet because I kind of feel like we're never going to get back to that again. But
even I was young.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even I'm old enough to be able to remember those days. I was in the stands when I was 4 years old yelling Detroit basketball. And that's where my love of basketball originated. And now there's just no energy like that today in Detroit with these Pistons.
Yeah, they're irrelevant. They're an organization that for a lot of the season we just didn't talk about because there was no reason to talk about them. It would only make us upset and just kind of spinning around in circles. And Marvin Strong, I mean, this kind of echoes a lot of us, including us at this network. I have zero faith in the Pistons organization to make the right decisions to get good players or utilize good players when we do have them.
Amen.
I mean, you're seeing it right now.
Yeah.
This Pistons roster, at least talent-wise, should not be 14-68.
Yeah.
If you look at the weird fits, the lack of shooting, it makes a little bit more sense. But even with what they did with bringing in guys like Muscala and Danilo Gallinari just to say, like, goodbye. Simone Fontecchio I like, but of course he got hurt. But
that's one move out of how many moves?
Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, it's just as irrelevant as it can possibly come. But do you know what is not irrelevant?
What is it?
KG spin the block. And we're going to get to that after you tell us about Lady Jane's.
And I shall do that. And shout out once again to the beautiful Lady Jane's girls over there working hard. Awesome is when a guy can get a haircut, get an amazing haircut, and feel like him, man. We all feel better once we fresh, man. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Sit Stop in, sit back, and relax. Let one of the Lady Jane's girls take care of you, make you look good and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's is wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They're family and locally owned and operated for over 30 years. With 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you. Same day local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
Welcome back to Big D Energy Live on the Woodward Sports Network, and a shout out to my golden retriever Jake and my orange cat Milo. I don't do that read anymore, so I don't get to shout them out as much, but hope you guys are having a good day at home with wifey. But you know what? I'm having a good day here because I'm working with KG today.
Yes, sir.
We got Korean Jesus in the audio booth, and now intern James in the TD booth, cutting his chops and learning some things. Appreciate all of you guys for coming here and wanting to learn and having that tenacious attitude. I've seen that from you, Korean Jesus, and I'm seeing that from you too as well, James. But you know what else is tenacious? KG
What?
Spin the Block.
Stop it, man. Stop it. And since you shouting out wifey, shout out to my baby Shy at home. Love you. But today for Spin the Block, and shout out Mike G in the chat. I kind of got this idea from him. He's been posting it in the chats for weeks now. Today we're going to play a game of Let Me Ask Your White Ass Something. So I have a series of questions that I need some answers to, man. I want a better understanding of how you guys operate. So without further ado, why do y'all walk outside barefoot all the time? I don't understand it. Just put some fucking flip-flops on. It's not hard. Can you give me an answer as to why you guys like to just walk around barefoot?
Korean Jesus, with all due respect, you look like someone who walks around barefoot outside.
Whoa, that's crazy.
You go to like EDM festivals, bro. You go to Electric Forest.
It's already a success. Already.
We're supposed to be on the same team here. Hey, yo, didn't mean to say that. Anyway. Anyway, no, I do not walk barefoot very often. But when I do, it's only just to go grab something from the car, and it's usually out of necessity because I don't see any flip-flops, and I'm not about to throw on a whole pair of shoes just to go run out to my car to go grab one thing.
But you don't never get rocks in your feet? That shit don't never bother you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very calculated walk. I'm not gonna let myself just step on a stone like that and hurt my foot. I'm gonna be very cautious when I walk, but it's not like that, as Flannel said, where I'm walking around Electric Forest with no shoes on. That's criminal.
I mean, but
hey, I'll stand on this. I'll take this. I'll take this position.
Okay, all right, go ahead, James.
When you walking barefoot around, it's very peaceful. You can feel your feet touching the ground. It's kind of nice, especially if it's a smooth surface. And also, sometimes you don't have that time to put on the flip-flops. You just got to go outside and do something.
I ain't never not had time to put on the flip-flops.
You always got them right by the door?
Yes.
That's how you got it like that?
Yes.
Because you never just want to walk outside and just feel your body on the ground?
I'm with you there, James. It's
just a nice feeling, man. You should try it sometime.
Nah, I'm good. I walk around barefoot around the house, but outside, that's a no-go. And then, okay, walking barefoot outside, that's one thing, but y'all black ass feet at the bottom, bro, that really bothers me. With people with dirty soles, man. Like, wash your damn feet if you go walk around barefoot all the time. I just don't understand it, man. And Sam, you say you don't do it at all?
I'm kind of with Korean Jesus on this one. If I have to go to my car for something and I don't have flip-flops at hand, even if it's cold outside, even if there's a little bit of snow on the ground, I'll walk outside barefoot.
Oh, y'all is crazy.
I'll like do the whole like running tiptoe thing, but who wants to put on I hate putting on shoes that you have to like untie and tie again. If you're just going outside for like this thing that you missed or this grocery bag that you missed after you already took your shoes off, I'll go barefoot.
Okay.
I'm seeing someone used to golf barefoot, and that's crazy.
That's wild, man. I just will never understand it. But this is why we have these sessions, so we could get to know each other a little bit better. And this one wasn't on the list of questions that I had, but I got to go off the cuff here, Sam, and I'm coming right at you, bro.
Oh, boy.
Why do you hate Deion Sanders so much?
Oh, damn.
I don't...
If speak now, forever hold your peace, man. I'm trying to let you correct your actions from the let me throw the hood on escapade that you had.
He is arguably the greatest cover corner ever.
Yeah.
A no doubt Hall of Famer.
Did you dislike him as a football player?
No.
Okay.
No, I wasn't. I was a little young. I mean, we were all
a
little bit young, like especially in his like Cowboys and Niners and Falcons days. I was like a little baby and then a little kid, so I didn't really see. But his highlights, even going back to Florida State, electric. Some of the most electric you'll ever see. That Colorado hype train, I think, got out of control. I think there were a lot of people that were backtracking. You heard a lot of, they're going to win 8 games. Oh, they're going to win 9 games. We had an old coworker, Parker Brown, yes, I'm calling you out, that said they're going to the college football playoff.
Yeah.
He did say and you saw guys like Chris Broussard say that they were going to go into Oregon and beat them.
Yeah.
And they got waxed.
They got mollywopped.
And then all of a sudden, a 4-win season was the most massive success of all time, and only Deion could have pulled off a miracle like
nobody else has done it. They had 1 win the year before. I understand 4 wins, that's not good, but going forward, I have no doubt in my mind that Deion will be able to get Colorado to a level that they've never seen before. He hasn't failed. He doesn't have a track record of failing at this stuff.
You know, Colorado won a natty in 1990. People don't even remember that. They did.
I wasn't born yet, Sam.
I understand.
Yeah, the Lions won a playoff game in 91 before we just won recently. So, I mean, what does that really mean to me?
I'm just saying, you act like Colorado is, I don't know, Rutgers or something like that. They've had some pedigree.
Historically, they haven't been the best programs.
Well, they haven't been great recently, but even under Carl Durrell or Mel Tucker,
right.
they would win.
He's still coming, Tuck coming, man.
They would win 4 or 5 games usually, except Carl Durrell's last season. That's the reason he got fired. They won 1. It's just that, I don't know. And after the TCU game, Deion Sanders was victory lapping. Do you believe? I believe you won 1 conference game this year. The year after, they won 1 conference game. Just do something first. That's all.
I understand. If they win 8 games this year or somehow get in the playoff, will you believe them?
Yes.
Okay.
They're not making the playoff. Get out of here.
Never know, man. Never know.
We'll
But
see.
Onward and onward. Why do white people not season their food? This is one thing that I do not understand. Y'all got the driest meat.
Italians do.
Shout out to the Italians.
Hey, KG,
they do know how to season some
here.
shit.
You can come over here on this one.
Yeah,
because,
Justin, talk to me, man. Why do y'all not season y'all damn food?
Hey, I'm not in this part of the white community because I can tell you, I put a bitch ton of seasoning on whatever I'm making.
Yeah, describe a bitch ton.
Yo.
Right.
If you can see the meat,
define a bitch ton.
If you can see too much meat, you're doing it wrong. It has to be completely covered in seasoning. There should be no room to see big pieces of meat. It should all have seasoning on it.
What kind of seasoning do you like to put on your meat? Pause.
I like Tony's seasoning. I like Montreal steak and chicken with a little bit of something spicy on top if I'm cooking chicken or steak or something like that.
Baby.
But I like some spice, and whatever I'm making, there's got to be some form of paprika, red pepper, something of that sort has to make some sort of appearance on that. And I also, if you could ask my roommates at school, I make mac and cheese Southern style mac and cheese, and that is laced, crusted on a metal tray, you would be proud, KG. I
I
promise.
gotta bring some in now.
No.
Absolutely. James, you care to elaborate? You got some black friends, man. Do you season your food?
Absolutely, man. Hey, I grew up working at a soul food spot, man. So I know all about that life.
Shout out.
So shout out Burt's Marketplace down there by Eastern Market. Go there, get some good barbecue. So, but yeah, man, all about the seasoning. Just talking with Spaniards back here. We use Lowry seasoning, some Stubbs seasoning. You know, it depends what it is.
Stubbs, slept on.
Yes, slept on.
Okay.
Paprika, you know, a little cayenne. So.
Okay, I guess.
Onion powder.
Yep, onion powder is a
Old
big
Bay.
one, man.
I'm a big Old Bay guy too.
It seems like it's some hope for y'all. Sam, what about you, man?
Well, I will speak for those who do underseason my food. Is anybody shocked by this? I like
not
things
at
plain.
all.
I like
Lettuce
things
pizza,
plain.
not at all.
I like things plain. I don't like too much seasoning. It's kind of offensive to my taste buds at some point, especially if it's too spicy, if it's too just like even
no.
and
Hard pass.
a lot of people are gonna find me a wimp for this. Sometimes I even find like Middle Eastern food, like shawarma, a little bit too. I'm from Illinois. There's no such thing as shawarma down there.
Oh, well, yeah, it makes sense.
Like it's just so many seasonings and so many like tastes. It's just I like more plain meat.
What the fuck?
My own words. My own words did me in there. But yeah, if you want to make me the stereotype, I will be the stereotype.
All right. Are you at least putting some sides with your meat?
I mean, bread, maybe.
Bread.
All meat, no sides, maybe. Maybe corn
I
on
was
the,
trying to give him another chance to right the ship. Man.
If anything, it would be corn on the cob.
Oh, this is okay. We getting somewhere. Finally, you said a side that wasn't just meat, man.
That's fair.
But we know all love we know your love of meat, man. So, my next question: why pumpkin pie over sweet potato pie? Can someone please explain this to me? Pumpkin pie. While it's okay, it's nowhere near sweet potato pie in my eyes.
Go ahead.
I'm out on pumpkin pie. So this is a Flannel and a James question.
James. You worked at a soul food spot.
I'm going with peach cobbler for the win.
Hey,
then
okay.
I'll go sweet potato pie.
Okay.
But look, the pumpkin pie is right up there, man. There's a lot of texture to it. It's a little more simple. The sweet potato, if you're not used to that, it's got a little kick to it.
It do.
It got a little kick to it. If you're not ready for that, you know, if you don't like seasoning on your food to start with, you're probably not gonna like the kick that comes with it.
I just don't understand the pumpkin craze. Then y'all do it in everything. Pumpkin shakes at restaurants, all type of shit.
No.
Why? What's the obsession with pumpkin?
I don't know. I mean, and here's the thing. I don't do pumpkin spice anything or anything like that. But I'll make a confession. I've never had sweet potato pie.
Okay.
My thing is that I don't like sweet potatoes or yams on their own, which will probably shock nobody.
Yeah.
So sweet potato pie just kind of sounds. I know that it tastes kind of in the same family as pumpkin pie. At least that's what I've heard. So I'd be willing to try it, and then maybe I will get back to you on that.
Okay. You ever had soul food, Sam?
No.
What? No.
Sam, okay. All right. And that makes total sense. Sam, don't worry. We're going to get you together, man.
All right.
I'm going to hook you
life.
up one of these games.
Change your life, bro.
I'm telling you, man. And for my last question of the Spin the Block segment, why do white people ruin every black dance trend? We could go throughout history. The Dougie, the whipping nene. Even Aiden Hutchinson with the stanky leg. He has the worst stanky leg I've ever seen. That leg clean as fuck. I don't understand, and not in a good way. So I just don't understand why y'all feel the need to always ruin the good black dance trends. But Justin, you're a young guy. Tell me why.
I feel like I'm about to be put on blast here because I am a big dancer, but I find myself for at least having a relative amount of rhythm when it comes to stuff like that. I'm not saying I'm, Will Smith with the moves or anything like that.
But you know how to cut a rug, as the kids say.
Yeah, I mean, I can move a little bit. You put me down on some disco, I'm gonna get down, and then
fist bump doesn't count as a dance, by the way.
Oh, hell no.
The only white person dance is the hustle. That's the only dance that white people.
And technically, black people took that and made it better. But so could I ask you to dance right now, Justin? Would you break out a couple moves for us?
To dance right now?
Yeah, you say you got a couple little moves.
Okay, hold on. Let me
just hit us with the shoulders a little bit. Just give us something. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Hey.
Oh.
Okay.
How's that?
Hey, it works, man. It works. I got you to dance. So, James, what do you feel about this topic, man? Why do y'all ruin all the good dance trends?
I mean, it just comes down to kind of where you grow up, man. You know, I didn't really learn how to dance till I started working in a soul food spot, man. I'm not gonna act like, you know, I had that rhythm from day one.
You got the dance lesson while they was teaching you how to make ribs?
I did. I had to learn ballroom dancing, you know, line dancing, the whole nine, man. So, you know, it takes some time, man.
Yeah.
Your body's just not naturally inclined.
I ain't gonna lie, the line dance though, black people, y'all can take notes with them. Like y'all got that line dance in line. I will give y'all that.
Yes.
But
KG, I got a question before you go to Sam.
Yeah.
Do you respect me knowing the entire Soulja Boy dance?
No, everybody knows that, man.
Not these days, I promise you that.
do you respect me?
Hey,
but,
I'm trying to get a feeler, man.
I mean, it was a pretty easy dance to do because he literally taught you step by step in the song. But I'll give you some points, man.
That's my childhood. That's the first dance I ever learned from my older cousins, and it was lit.
No, trust me, I know some white people that can't move a lick. So I do understand that. And speaking of white people that can move a lick, Sam, long drink flannel, I done seen you out on that dance floor, bro.
No, like, I don't like, first off, I don't like dance trends, so you'll never catch me doing, like, the Dougie or whatever. That's just not really my thing. I have kind of my own unique style. A lot of jumping, a lot of, like, headbanging, a lot of
jumping.
I don't know.
Flannel's a menace on the dance floor for sure.
I appreciate that.
No, I'm telling y'all, listen, Sam actually is not that bad. I watched this guy. He had a couple long drinks in him, and you turned into a whole different guy. I was actually surprised. I was like, oh, look at Sam out there, man. You just needed some glow sticks and a whistle. You would have been good.
Well, and not trying to brag or anything, but I was born with the gift of impeccable rhythm. Trust me, I do. I've been with a lot of people who don't, and I do. So, and for the record, I've always said this before, my PSA to all you single guys out there, get on the dance floor.
Big facts.
For the love of God, get on the dance floor. If you're one of those guys who's standing in the corner and won't dance, you're just asking to go home alone. You're just asking to have a nice you time session.
Tell him, Flannel.
Tell him. Get out there and dance.
Nice night with the Jergens, man.
Get out there and dance.
Hey, and he has a wife. This is verified, so you can take advice from this man. He knows what he's talking about. But that will conclude Spin the Block today.
Oh.
Shout out Neil. I know he's dying to hear this today, but he's not here. So, but yeah, there's that.
Dabber, your flannel derangement syndrome. You should get checked for that, bro. Everything I say.
You got haters out there.
He's
man.
like Brandon Katz. He's worse. Give me Katz over Dabber any day of the week. I will dance circles around you. Circles.
That's a crazy statement.
Circles. Oh, Dabber's way worse than Katz. Give me Katz any day of the week.
I seen Dabber too. I don't know if he can dance, man. Shout out Detroit Dabber though. But yeah, where we at?
Oh yes, Dispo.
Oh, that is me again. I got all the reads and all the weed reads. Y'all know what it is. But Dispo Dispensary yet again. I don't know how many times I got to tell y'all about the deals, but they have really good deals. I am for real a Dispo customer. Never been disappointed. Meet a team that curates an unbelievable experience and shopping atmosphere. Try the freshest inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. Come through the stores, man. Order on Dispo Dash today. They got pickup. They got delivery. They got it all, man. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Smoke weed every day.
Hey.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone. You got membership starting at only $10 a month, or you can get the black card for $24.99. Meet all of your fitness goals, like the man who usually sits in this seat, Neil Rule. Did you know he used to be about 340 pounds?
Yeah.
Shout out to him for his fitness journey, and for anybody else doing a fitness journey as well. Whether you're broke, whether you want to go anywhere you want across the world, you travel, and you want a Planet Fitness membership, and just go into any one of them, Planet Fitness has everything for you. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Last segment of the day on Big D Energy Live on the Woodward Sports Network, and a Dante151, one of the chat MVPs. Thank you for the super chat. Anyone remember the shoulder lean dance move that
shoulder lean?
You know what's funny?
Hey, that's my era right there.
You know what's funny? Like, if it wasn't for T.I., I don't think that song would have done anything.
Oh, well, yeah,
just with that, like, you know, like that was the only part of the song that I really even care about. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Like if it weren't for Michael Jackson's chorus, the Rockwell stuff isn't even that good.
That's fact.
He's terrible.
Yeah.
He's awful. But, Michael Jackson did a hell of a chorus, and, T.I. with the hell of a shoulder lean chant for sure. Not saying Young Dro is Rockwell, but you know what I'm saying. And also, glow sticks and a whistle. You trying to turn Sam into Terry Crews from White Chicks?
Absolutely.
No, that's White Chicks is so bad. I'm sorry.
Oh!
If you guys like it, it's so bad.
Okay, we gotta go, man.
Really, you like it?
White Chicks is a black film classic, man. That's another story for another day,
Okay,
man.
all right.
We're gonna get you together. I'm gonna get you some soul food, but we gotta wrap it up here, man. So I'll let you take us out.
All right. I didn't realize that would strike such a nerve. It was entertaining, but it's not going to win any Oscars. But anywho, this was Big D Energy, my first show on the desk, other than the draft show with KG. Had a lot of fun. Hope we can do it again sometime soon, and you'll be seeing me and him every day, because no matter what show I'm on, KG is right there with me.
You damn right.
We got Korean Jesus in the sound booth. Great show out of you today. And Spencer Raxter in the TD booth. And just a preview, tomorrow, Big Nickel Package Friday. So you are not going to want to miss this. You'll get questions from Korean Jesus. You'll get questions from Spenmo, myself as well. For the chat, for everybody here, for all the rest of the shows, this was Big D Energy. See you tomorrow. Peace.
Well, see you later.
Clap for KG.